I will now recognize Honorable Sangoni.
Technology. Madam House Chair, Honorable Minister, Deputy Minister, the honorable members of this august House, esteemed and valued stakeholders in the ICT sector, and I especially want to acknowledge the CFO of Telkom, Ms. Nonkululeko Dlamini, who is with us in the chamber today. I understand she comes bearing gifts of more than R500 million in dividends that is due to the South African people. Fellow South Africans, it was exactly 12 months ago that the Portfolio Committee on Communications and Digital Technologies of the 7th Parliament was constituted. The first order of business of the new committee was to adopt the 2024-2025 budget vote of the Department of Communications and Digital Technologies. With a strong sense of purpose and hope in our hearts, we approved, within a matter of hours, if my memory serves well, a budget of 3.9 billion rands for the year for the department and its entities. It was with great optimism that we believed that we were continuing with the vital work of building a digitally connected and inclusive society. That budget, Minister, was meant to be a springboard to connect our people, uplift our rural communities, build local innovation, and ignite inclusive growth. So as we meet here today, we are faced with the same task of approving yet another year's budget. We must pause and collectively ask ourselves, what did we do with that perfect opportunity that was bestowed on us 12 months ago? 1 year on, our vision as a committee remains the same: to ensure that every South African, regardless of geography or socioeconomic status, has access to the tools, infrastructure, and opportunities that are needed to thrive in the digital age. As a committee, we have remained focused on delivery of our constitutional mandate, lawmaking, executive oversight, and public participation. We have made significant progress, just as we have endured significant setbacks. Amongst the sparks of progress that we have witnessed is the SABC achieving its first unqualified audit in over a decade. The South African Post Office has moved closer to exiting business rescue, with plans underway to reposition it in the e-commerce space as the post office of the future. We have traveled as a committee to rural areas far and remote, and we have seen households in areas like Emanasibeni connected to affordable internet via the SA Connect program. The Post Bank has advanced compliance with the variation notice of the Reserve Bank, and that brings it that much closer to be a fully licensed state bank. The committee has also instituted quarterly oversight on the implementation of audit plans, which we now are beginning to influence improved governance. Working with the Portfolio Committee on Science, Technology and Innovation under the capable leadership of the Chairperson, Honorable Tsakane Shiviti, we have firmly placed the National Satellite Communication Program front and center of government's agenda, with the last report received from the Minister indicating that this strategy was en route to be adopted by Cabinet. But during the course of this year, Madam Speaker, we have also encountered significant challenges. While we conducted oversights from areas such as Lusikisiki and Diepsloot to better understand the challenges our people confront in terms of technology, we have needed to echo the calls of millions and carry the hopes and frustrations of the people directly to the door of our telecoms companies. We gave voice and urgency to the cries of the people, telling Vodacom, MTN, Telkom, Cell C, and Rain that the people demand reliable rural connectivity, lower data prices, data that does not expire, inclusive economic participation, and better quality of services. Today, as we speak, key legislation, such as the SABC bill and the amendment of the Electronic Communications Act, have stalled. And if this strategic plan that we are debating today as part of the budget is anything to go by, such legislation is at risk of being abandoned altogether. The gains of transformation are being reversed, and our portfolio of state-owned enterprises are facing an assault on their mandates from the very department that is meant to protect them. The department's lackluster pace in enacting urgent legislative reform has weakened the sector and left the vulnerable defenseless. whether it be women who are bullied on online platforms or struggling media entities that are being cannibalized by over-the-top services. The department's inaction on legislation affects all of them and sends a clear message that they are on their own. Madam Speaker, we understood 12 months ago, as we still do today, that the task of building a truly connected society would be daunting. Leadership instability at the highest level has plagued the department over many years. Since the dawn of democracy, communications has had no less than 16 ministers, each one bringing their own vision, more often than not dismantling what came before. Very few of them served long enough to drive sustainable transformation, and the result is what we see today. A department without memory in doing, a department without momentum in execution, and a department without mastery in innovation and resilience. It is no exaggeration to say that the sector today still remains rudderless and directionless. In search of a sector lodestar, we look to the Presidential Commission on the 4IR's recommendations, to the Digital Economy Master Plan, and now recently the Digital Transformation Roadmap. We have no single coherent industry vision co-created with the sector and driven at the center. Implementation of what even exists often lags, mandates overlap, and resources are squandered. Madam House Chair, honorable members, we are tasked to lead a sector that is the gate to a different world becoming. A world shaped not by land or minerals, by code. A world not ruled by guns or borders, but networks, algorithms, and data. A world where progress is measured not by how fast we dig, but how fast we connect, innovate, and imagine. And yet, in the sweeping tide of digital transformation, South Africa is lagging. Not because we lack talent, not because we lack will, but because we lack urgency, vision, and a united direction. The rest of the world is not waiting for us. India has launched its own digital public infrastructure, linking ID payments and social services through one seamless system. Rwanda has built drone corridors to deliver medicines in the most remote villages. Kenya's Silicon Savannah is creating thousands of jobs through tech hubs and local innovation. In South Africa, ICT continues to be treated as a footnote rather than a driver of economic growth and job creation. So I say again, as we meet today and consider the approval of a significant budget, we are duty-bound to ask ourselves some difficult questions. We must ponder whether through this budget we are once again funding a series of missed opportunities and unfulfilled promises. We must critically engage on whether this department can truly deliver without a cohesive vision and strategic alignment. Or are we enabling the department to remain an albatross around the neck of innovation and progress? It is our responsibility to question what is the cost of delay of crucial legislative and other reforms required to leapfrog our digital economy. We must ask the question, can South Africa afford to miss the digital future? Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, once said, the digital revolution can be a force for good, but will not happen on its own. We need to steer it with clear strategy, coordination, and courage. South Africa must respond with urgency and intent. So we're calling on the minister to set out a clear vision for the industry and mobilize all stakeholders to realize it. We're saying to the minister, pick a side, and I hope it is the right side. Run with it so that we know where you stand on important matters, such as economic transformation in favor of the Black majority, the nature of effective competition in the sector, market consolidation, price regulation, the formation of a state bank, funding of SABC's public mandate, meaningfully capacitating the state digital infrastructure company, and the enduring call for a wireless open access network, national and digital sovereignty. To this end, Minister, and after making having extensive engagements with the ministry and the department, we reiterate our call that department must prioritize modernizing the legislative framework. Our laws are relics of a bygone era, crafted before artificial intelligence, cloud computing, before the internet was in every child's home. We cannot regulate AI over the top services or digital platforms with outdated legislation. In the coming weeks, the committee will adopt its own legislative agenda to ensure that our laws support innovation, competition, and investment in emerging technologies. This we will do to safeguard the integrity of our laws to ensure that they are not amended by stealth or policy directors. Number 2, you must accelerate inclusive economic transformation. Number 3, you must strengthen digital infrastructure and sovereignty. We cannot allow multinational platforms to dictate our digital reality. We must be clear Minister, on our intentions to provide for our own people and not to be seen as a place and opportunity for racist and predatory elements that seek to undermine our country. Technology. Minister, you must enhance cybersecurity and online safety. You must stabilize our state-owned entities. Our state-owned entities are fighting like siblings in a dysfunctional home. Centec and the SABC, SAPO and the Post Bank, BBI with Eskom Transnet, and CETA with everybody else. The rest of the speech, Minister, we will send to you, but we do want to thank you so much for your continued engagement in the Portfolio Committee. We thank the Deputy Minister, the Director General, and the leadership as a whole for your continued engagement with the committee. The African National Congress supports the approval of this budget, not because we believe, Minister, that you are taking us anywhere, but because we know that we have a responsibility to work with you. We know that responsibility to work with you in furtherance of the digital teaching.
Thank you very much. Honorable members and also officials in the gallery, you are invited maybe to be present in the gallery, but you do not actively participate in the debate because you are not members of parliament. So the clapping of hands and the excitement that you show, I think you'll do it outside. But here only members of parliament are allowed to do this. As we proceed, let me acknowledge and call upon Honorable Ngubane.
Honorable House Chair,
Honorable members. Yes.
honorable members, representative from the DCDT entities, stakeholders in the ICT community, people of South Africa that we serve, good morning. You see, Chairperson, I'm still confused. How do you support this budget? It confuses all of us. Your speech was right online, but you spoiled the whole thing. Sooner or later, somewhere along the line, the ANC must be fair itself and have this speech and say, we reject this budget. Look at us, Chairperson. Look at us, Chairperson. As MK Party, we vehemently reject this budget. Reason being, this department under this minister keeps on doing the same thing over and over and over again, but they expect different result. SMK, we're never gonna stoop that low. Let me take this opportunity to first and foremost congratulate Telkom for the appointment of Miss Beauty Apleni as the CEO of OpenServe. A humble lady that started from the beginning at Telkom as a business analyst in data warehouse and climbed the ropes of Telkom, I mean. At least in the midst of SABC unilateral bill withdrawal, attempt of BE sanitization, CETA and Department of Home Affairs collaboration in trying to reverse the transversal so that private sector take over. In all this quagmire of the mess of the GNU, at least there is some hope that there are people that rises from the ashes and come and head entities by Telkom like Beauty Apleni. We humbly congratulate her. So, Chairperson, the Palapala saga and the Mkhwanazi saga need one solution only. It needs the unsealment of the funding of the CR17 bank statement so that South Africa will be saved. Everything must be transparent. This vote we are debating today, vote 30, is no ordinary budget line. It is a political battlefield over who controls the future of our digital economy. Is it the people or the connected one or the elite? Let me remind this House, revolution is not a tweet or is not a liberation, is not a liberated or the free Wi-Fi. As Umkhonto weSizwe, we do not celebrate budget figures while our people remain digitally dispossessed. The 1.56 billion rand allocation, we don't know where it's going to. We see that 1.56 billion is being transferred to state-owned entities like Centec, Broadband and FACO, INCASA, GCIS and SAPO. But let's talk, what do we get in return? Are our rural villages connected to fiber? No. Is our youth trained in digital skills? No. Are our SOEs clean and functional as we speak? No. In fact, Chairperson, if you go to so many of these SOE today, you will find more tenders than technicians, more consultants than coders, and more spin doctors than signal strength. This is the digital capture and not the digital development. On GCIS, government is using this as its propaganda machine. GCIS received the budget with conditions. That alone is a red flag. They say they are communicating with the people, but GCIS is only communicating with the ANC. It's a PR machine for the political elite as well. We want to ask, how is this budget democratizing access to information? Why are community radio stations like Inkonjane FM being infiltrated by the officials board that is of conflict interest? This needs to be investigated again. We've been raising this thing and over as if we are not well in our head. These things need to be investigated. The collapse of the post office. In the post office, you can do turnaround strategy after turnaround strategy, new board, new executive. If you don't tighten the endless loophole of corruption there, people will come and go as they please. I've even been friendly DM to give advice that entity, I can tell you now. That's why we say we are not supporting the mediocre budget that keeps doing the same thing over and expect different results. You will change board CEOs. That entity, you need to be tightening up the endless corruption. That's a gold mine of the entity that this government doesn't see. And it's now going down the drain. And the couriers are now ripping it off. They're taking the staff that is experienced and hire them. Now they're talking about the change in direction of their business because this thing is falling apart right in our face. Let us not pretend that the post office is no longer a national asset. This entity is a crime scene on its own. It received 381 million rand bailout, and we still ask, where is the audit report? Why are our workers unpaid, branches closed, and communities left stranded? We as Umkhonto weSizwe, we demand a forensic audit of all SAPO bailouts since 2019. We want to know who ate the people's money, who ate the people's mail and money as well. No budget without justice. This vote set aside 301 million for infrastructure and 700 million for ICT skills and capacity development. But ask any young person in Lusikisiki, in Nongoma, in Malamulele, or in Alexandra, where is the broadband? It's nowhere. Where is the Wi-Fi? Where is the training? This is not capacity development. It's an elite recycling. The same families, same network, same entrepreneurs are ones benefiting from these budgets. President Zuma said, you cannot just speak about transformation without understanding the power. This budget speaks of transformation in theory, but in practice, power remains in the hands of those who look like us, but they keep serving the capital. We must not confuse black faces with black power. As Umkhonto weSizwe, we want a digital economy that serves the working class, not the white monopoly elite platforms wrapped in black PR. Our demands in this house are clear. Quarterly performance reports for all SOEs received DCDT funds, forensic audits into SAPO and GCIS spending, full disclosure of beneficiaries of ICT training programs with a provincial breakdown, a People's Digital Summit to redefine transformation in the sector, amendment of the MDDA Act to criminalize political interference and in the community media. In conclusion, Chairperson, we assist that we will not support the funding of the propaganda, the funding of the looting, and the funding of the betrayal. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I will now recognize Honorable Vilagazi.
Honorable Chairperson, fellow citizens. In the digital age, power lies not only in institutions, but in infrastructure. The ability to connect to data, to services, to opportunity is what increasingly defines who participates in society and who is left behind. This makes the work of the Department of Communications and Digital Technologies not just important, but urgent. Its strategic plan and annual performance plan set out a compelling vision, a digitally transformed society and a localized competitive economy. We welcome the department's continued focus on digital inclusion, the migration of government sites to the zero-rated gov.za platform, and the growing attention to digital skills development. Importantly, the committee is also pleased that the department has agreed to integrate the committee's proposed refinements to its strategic plan, APP, and budget. This reflects a welcome responsiveness. It also signals that this committee does not see its role as merely rubber stamping departmental plans. We take our constitutional mandate seriously. Oversight must have presence and impact. Let me raise 5 areas of concern. First, a long-standing and widely acknowledged obstacle to sector growth is missing or outdated legislation. The legal framework for communications and digital technologies is no longer fit for purpose. For that reason, the committee welcomes the minister's bold decision to convene a policy colloquium to inform a comprehensive overhaul of the Electronic Communications Amendment Bill. This is precisely the kind of forward-looking leadership that is needed, Minister. Second, the department's performance indicators have room for improvement. Too many are activity-based, measuring outputs like frameworks or reports rather than real outcomes. Others seem detached from the operational capacity of the department. Targets like 90% 5G coverage or 100% fiber to government sites sound visionary, but mean little without tracked milestones, transparency, and consequence for non-performance. The need for the committee to more closely oversee the department's monitoring and planning tools highlights serious challenges in management follow-through in these areas. Closely related is the long-standing internal imbalance. Senior management staff make up just 25% of the department's workforce, yet absorb over 50% of the compensation of employees, without clear evidence of proportionate delivery in management. Wesithathu, sihlalo, kunokuphikisana lokukhulu phakathi kwelihlelo lokwabiwa kwetimali, ibudget, kanye nomsebenzi lotokwendiwa ku-APP. Ikhasa inikwe imali lengaba digits letingamakhulu lamabili nakubili, 102 million rand, yekutsengisa ispectrum kulonyaka, kodwa kuto lekushiwo ngalokho ku-APP. Futhi, i-SA Connect, luhlelo lokufinyelelisa i-internet loluhamba phambili emnyangweni, lumile njengamanje, lulinze kuvunyelwa i-Treasury ukuthi kusetshenziswe kabusha imali leyasala nyakenye. Loku akukavunyelwa futhi akunasiqiniseko ukuthi kutavunyelwa. Ngakho ke noma umnyango ukhuluma ngokukhulisa luhlelo lokwandisa i-internet ikakhulu etindzaweni tasemakhaya kunobungoti lobukhulu ukuthi lokhu kungenteki. Bosomabhizinisi labancane lababambisene nomnyango kulomsebenzi batitfola sebamukwe ticatha emlonyeni. Live lelixhumeke jikelele ngokwe-internet telenteka kunetithembiso letingakafezeki. Fourth, long-standing reforms to state-owned entities must finally be delivered. BPI, Centec, SABC, SAPO, and Postbank are at various stages of institutional vulnerability. The state digital infrastructure company remains unrealized. Rationalization has been spoken about for years. Let this minister be the one who breaks the cycle, who moves the department from planning to execution, underpinned by clear governance frameworks, political will, and a managed transition strategy. Fifth, that department must elevate its response to cybersecurity and digital safety. In an era of rising cybercrime, digital manipulation, and critical infrastructure vulnerabilities, digital trust is not an option, it is foundational. Chairperson, in the digital age, power lies in infrastructure, but progress lies in execution. Siyabonga.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member.